Hi friends, welcome back. I'm Kathy. This is part one of the series Scientific Facts in the Bible. So if you missed the introduction video talking about this new series, make sure you check that out. Gives a little history and insight into this book. And yeah, so Ray Comfort, if you can see that there, he's the guy who wrote it, and it's his ministry, Living Waters. So I don't know how long each video is going to be. I'm just going to start going through and talk about different things that are in the book that stood out to me and that hopefully y'all find fascinating as I did. So we will dive right in. Okay, so, and if you want to follow along, like I mentioned in the intro video, there's the book you can get on eBay and also Amazon. eBay is way cheaper than Amazon, and just depending on where you are. I really like this book. I have so many parts highlighted and that I've referred to and talked about with people and in situations. So, and there will be a playlist that you can, if you miss any, you can start at the beginning and watch them all, or go back and find whatever one you missed. So, okay, well, like I said, this is part one of Scientific Facts in the Bible. And so we're on chapter 1, Science and the Bible. So the first part talks about the Bible and Earth's free float in space. So he says that at a time when it was believed that the Earth sat on a large animal or a giant, which was about 1500 BC, the Bible spoke of the Earth's free float in space. And this is from Job 26:7. He hangs the earth upon nothing. So science didn't discover that the earth hangs upon nothing until 1650. So that's kind of crazy. So that was a long time later. All right. And then the next little paragraph, the scriptures speak of an invisible structure. So only in recent years has science discovered that everything we see is composed of things that we cannot see, invisible atoms. So in Hebrews 11:3, which was written 2,000 years ago, scripture tells us that the, quote, things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. Things which are seen are not made of things which do appear. So invisible structures. Okay. So the next little section, the Bible reveals that the earth is round. The scriptures tell us that the earth is round. Quote, it is he that sits upon the earth. That sits upon the circle of the earth. That's Isaiah 40:22. And the word translated circle here in the Hebrew word, is the Hebrew word, I don't even know how to say that, shuang, something, which is translated circuit or compass, depending on the context. And that is, it indicates something spherical, rounded, or arched, not something that's flat or square. So the book of Isaiah was written sometime between 740 and 680 BC. And yep, that's where that is from. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 22. Okay. So approximately 700 years before Jesus was born. So, and this is at least 300 years before Aristotle suggested in his book On the Heavens that the earth might be a sphere. It was another 2,000 years later, at a time when science believed that the earth was flat, that the scriptures inspired Christopher Columbus to sail around the world. Okay. All right, so the next section is the Bible and the science of oceanography, which is studying the oceans. All right, Matthew Maury, who lived from 1806 to 1873, is considered the father of oceanography. He noticed the expression, quote, paths of the sea in Psalm 8:8, which was written 2,800 years ago, and said, if God said there are paths in the sea, I'm going to find them. Maury then took God at his word and went looking for these paths, and we are indebted to his discovery of the warm and cold continental currents. His book on oceanography remains a basic text on the subject and is still used in universities. Okay, the next section is the Bible and radio waves. God asked Job a very strange question in 1500 BC. He asked, can you send lightnings that they may go and say to you, here we are? Job 38:35. This appears to be a scientifically ludicrous statement that light can be sent and then manifest itself in speech. But did you know that all electromagnetic radiation from radio waves to X-rays travels at the speed of light? That is why you can have instantaneous wireless communications with someone on the other side of the earth. The fact that light could be sent and then manifest itself in speech wasn't discovered by science until 1864, which is 3,300 years later. My goodness. When British scientist James Clerk Maxwell suggested that electricity and light waves were two forms of the same thing. And that's from the Modern Century Illustrated Encyclopedia. See, that whole thing really blows my mind. I've never understood how radio waves and cell phones and any kind of telephone and all that, where you can talk to someone on the other side of the earth at any time. My brain has a hard time with that. And I'm not a scientist at all. I don't have a scientific brain, so this stuff really speaks to me, is when it's broken down, and especially having to do with the Bible, and that helps it make sense. And we can go back to, like I said in Job, my gosh, Job 38:35, 3,000, well, more than that, because 1864 was 3,300 years, the time difference. So over 3,000 years. So let me know if that kind of stuff makes sense to you. My brain just doesn't. Yeah, I just know I can pick up the phone, and since we have family and friends all over the world, we can, not just in the United States, but anywhere, and you can just talk to them at any time. Yeah, that just blows my mind. Okay, so let's see. I think this next one will be the last little paragraph for this section. Okay, so this one's called, and I really like this topic, the Bible and entropy. And I've wanted to do a video just on entropy for a long time. And I'll describe what that is if you don't know. So 3 different places in the Bible, Isaiah 51:6, Psalm 102, 25 and 26, and Hebrews 1:11 indicate that the earth is wearing out. This is what the second law of thermodynamics, the law of increasing entropy, states, that all physical processes, every ordered system over time tends to become more disordered. Everything is running down and wearing out as energy is becoming less and less available for use. That means the universe will eventually wear out to the extent that, theoretically speaking, there will be a heat death and therefore no more energy available for use. This wasn't discovered by science until recently, but the Bible states it in concise terms. Like I said, Isaiah, Psalm, and Hebrews. So yeah, entropy really fascinates me as far as I think of, let's see, Christians as opposed to atheists who, people who believe that the Big Bang happened and the earth was created out of nothing and all of that. So, the Bible obviously says something different. And entropy means everything's just falling apart, wearing out, things aren't forming. So the earth couldn't have formed, came together with all the structures, the atoms, the gases, the everything that it has, it's falling apart. And like I said, I want to do a whole video just on that, because it makes sense. If you just look at, clothes wear out, our bodies wear out, cars, everything that we have around us, houses, things break, things leak, things fall apart, all that stuff. We have one car at the mechanics right now, and we had to have repairs done where we live. And yeah, this, that, and the other thing. So that part makes sense to me when I learned what entropy was and things that, they wear out. So anyways, let me know what you guys think of this new series. And like I said, this is the first one. I don't know how long each video is going to be. I wanted them to be longer than my last series where they were just maybe 2-3 minutes each. So we'll just see how this goes. Thank you everyone for coming by, and welcome to all my new subscribers, and thank you to all my long-term viewers and subscribers. If you aren't subscribed, please do so. My channel shows that 75% of my viewers are not subscribed. So I would really love that. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. And yeah, and I hope you leave a comment down below. I love chatting with people in the comments. And I will see everyone in the next video. Hope everyone's doing well. God bless.